Welcome in, my beautiful souls, to a brief daily read. This is going to be for Tuesday or thereabout. I pre-pulled 4 overall energies, one of which is being the main, and then we have 3 other energies. We have the Star card. When I was pre-pulling these cards, I kept going, ooh, ooh. Such a fascinating and powerful, positive energy coming through. It's as if there's a focus on your dreams, your wishes, your goals, and maybe other people's as well. There's a focus on you being a star. People are impressed with you, by you throughout this period. I want to say for more than one reason. When you find that people just feel like looking at you, interacting with you, it's going to be no surprise. It's like, yeah, well, I'm me, right? I'm changing, I'm growing, and just vibing and doing what I have to do, or maybe what you want to do. And it feels like there's a twinkle in your eye. A very interesting, kind of corny message, but it's true. It's like you're doing better than you maybe expected at this point. You're feeling better than you were once feeling, regardless of how far back that rewinds for you. There's also going to be a focus on what you gave up. Spirit saying what you did choose to leave behind, or maybe start and then quit, leave behind very soon after that for some. It was purposeful, meant to be. Maybe even spiritually protected all the meanwhile. But there are times in life where we forget or don't even notice that we're trusting our intuition wholeheartedly, and that's also taking a focus. And this will come into play. They're showing me at my serving job in a swift kind of way where you're just grooving and moving and accomplishing through the day and choosing intuitively and selectively allowing spirit to assist otherwise. But we're also shifting forward to talk about the Justice card. It's a day of justice, my friend. And you may even find a focus on past justice as well as, or more so, future justice. Feeling like you are wanting to know more. About what though, right? That's going to be the fascinating part. It's like what you're interested to gain more knowledge and awareness of is going to be teaching you, maybe reminding you of more than meets the eye. It's like what lies beneath the surface. I don't know what that's talking about for you. It could be about you, maybe something outside of you, but just wait and see. Interesting. Just wait and see. It's as if a spirit's saying, we don't have to have it all figured out. And something specifically, you have to wait and see how far it's meant to go or how good it's meant to be. Or maybe, I feel like for somebody it's a connection, how close you're meant to be. Interesting. It feels like the Seven of Pentacles is talking about you watering things of importance throughout this day, even if they don't feel 100% enjoyable. But then there's a clicking into enjoyment that takes place, and it's like, I can make it enjoyable. But what naturally does come to be enjoyably for you, experience-wise, accomplish-wise, moment-wise, that is beyond purposeful. But what you've waited for, my friend, is going to as well be highlighted in a peaceful manner, because Spirit's saying everything's coming in and flowing and leaving your life in a strategic, purposeful manner. But it just feels like you're going to have a magical touch throughout this day. Can you see the sort of magical ray of light flowing from his hand? It's like, I want to manifest this. I want to accomplish this. I want to help this person. I want to, did we say it already? Accomplish, develop, create this, whatever it may be for you. There's a focus on statues, or one in particular, in faces. It reminds me of certain faces I was seeing when I was trying to fall asleep the other night. It was like spirits were introducing themselves to me. But anyways, the Nine of Pentacles coming out because it's a time of independence, reaching for hope and comfort and more stability. It feels like you know more about the justice you're receiving at this time than you need to be one with. I hope that makes sense. It's like, say, for example, you're working a job and there's justice now coming in for past wrongdoings or past lack of noticing, maybe, or difficulties. But are you going to start to just vocalize it to everybody left and right? No, you're just going to do what you got to do and be extremely grateful and feel peaceful in the midst of receiving that justice. So again, apply it as you may. But it does feel like you are a light of hope is what I'm getting. A light of hope absolutely beautiful. And it's as if you're being pushed to more so reach for the stars. Think about what you want. Think about what you need, but how can that intertwine in a bigger sense with what you want? Does that make sense? Think about what you need and how that can more so intertwine with what you want, or vice versa. I know that got a bit jumbled. I do apologize. But you're also being viewed at, again, intertwining these two cards as a star. Can you see the drawn star? Sorry if you can't. But the color green, purple, and yellow, as well as, okay, aqua, it's as if things are feeling more colorful. I want to say that you have exited a period of significant release and healing, being drawn to this reading, and maybe a little bit is left to do, right? This is going to feel refreshing. It's like, things aren't weighing me down as much. I don't feel very heavy in my late working way of being. Okay, didn't mean to say that, or just your way of being in general. There's going to be a focus as well, potentially in a slight manner, on things like being a light worker, being an empath, being spiritually connected, religion maybe for some. I do feel like you're going to be thinking back to certain conversations, connections, and accomplishments in moments of mundane tasks or simplistic connection. Does that make sense to you? It's like this is a moment where you don't need to be wholeheartedly connected to whatever is at hand. And so it's an appropriate moment to shift back to it for a sake of importance. They want one more card. With the Eight of Swords and the Moon card, to take away from the positive energy, it feels like this is a time for you where, as well, we're pushing you to reflect a bit. What do we need to change? What do you need to improve, maybe remove, in order to acquire more successfully in an easier manner? But it also feels like where there is restriction, there's mystery. Where there's restriction, there's at least a little bit of emotion. It's as if the day highlights, and maybe even the previous days, people go through it. You're not the only one. I'm not trying to say that yours is to be under mined, okay, or under valued, or you know what I mean? I didn't get the right wording, but it's as if everybody does go through it, and I feel like a lot of people have been, and you may find that you're not the only one that has exited or has been going through a significant amount of healing and releasing. And I feel like there's just a starlight quality about you, and that's being noticed. I mean, we already kind of mentioned that, but I do feel like that may be coming through in more than one way. And I also feel like you may not understand what you went through to the fullest extent, and it may just come through in an illuminating way throughout this energy period, at least some of which. In Spirit saying this is assisting with what you have at hand, but more so what lies ahead in a very positive, abundant manner. It's at certain points I'm hearing take a step back. What are you not seeing correctly? What are you not listening to or paying attention to? At times when we're too close, it's not as effective. But as well, staying too far back in that perspective is also unproductive. It's about, applying and balancing things out. Anyways, as we get quite wordy, the Eight of Pentacles as well, because I feel like you're radiating throughout this period, okay? You're glowing even, I want to say. There's a sense of looking forward while accomplishing, and at times maybe resting and healing and thinking, I can do this, right? And again, I feel like there's a focus on what you turned your back towards. Maybe that's something completely different. And I feel like a chair or two as well, on a random note, is part of this day. When you get the chance to sit down and rest, please do. When you have the chance to sleep in, as long as it's not going to disturb an obligation for that morning or whatever, please do. Okay, honor your temple's needs, but trust your intuition all the meanwhile. I feel like there's going to be as well a sense of appreciation coming towards you. People are noticing you, people see your value, and that's a beautiful thing. I want to finish up this reading by saying that you have the right idea and things are going to work out for you better than you realize.